Libra, I'm hearing that there is some sort of focus on needing to build an alliance in an unlikely manner, perhaps with something that is brand new in your life path. Could be a child, could be perhaps single parent, perhaps could be a new project that you're beginning, a new idea, a new venture. It could even be your inner child. Let's have a look for you. This is the Arcana Veil. We have the sun here as a force. We have future. We have bear. There seems to be a lot of focus on a masculine type of energy, which relates to having to put a lot of things in place, building new things so that you can actually start growing whatever it is that you're building on. I'm hearing it's brand new and you'd like to focus on how it could actually work for you in your future path, which is basically being presented in the present. And you need a lot of strength, bear, to put a lot of that energy in place. You may even be dealing with people that are perhaps very much focused on your actions right now. It does feel like you're being observed. Excuse me. And it also appears as if there's a little bit of a perhaps some sort of judgment or overruling judgment over how things are being done for you or how you are doing things. So this is why you're changing it up. You're changing up the story. I have a different deck today for the regular heavenly reads, or that which is in the upper above. So we're going to be trying to see how this goes. It's still tarot, so don't worry, you don't have to run away. I'm just kidding. We have here the Queen of Coins here. We have the Hermit. And we have the Six of Coins. There's a lot of reds in here, going into a new season. We have the Two of Scepters or Swords, or sorry, Wands. I'm going to look at it that way. We have the World, sorry, is it the, no, it says the Vehicle, so that's the Chariot. I'm going to put this one here, because they're an enormous deck, enormous cards. Maybe you might see it out here on this end. Okay, that's not too bad. For the Six of Pentacles or the Six of Coins, you're being shown that there's definitely a focus, a need to focus on bringing some new ideas into place. So they need to focus on bringing in or putting a lot of force into action so that there's definitely a rebuilding of financial endeavor here. There's the Queen of Coins here under the force of the Sun, which means there's a lot of material gain coming into fruition for you. So far, these are all parts, and the Hermit here on the future, which allocates itself in the space of needing to set a certain path in place, being very quiet about it and not really spreading too much information on this route. Perhaps some of you are using a new sort of recipe on bringing new ideas in place. The birds are definitely part of the reading because they're definitely making a noise and actually trying to give a clarity to what's been going on. Two of Scepters here, which would be the Wands, is definitely being used in a particular way to assert a new way of business building, the inner child, that child. It's a brand new endeavor that you're setting root in. So and then met by the chariot or the vehicle in the end here. There's a lot of passengers that might be going on the same journey as you. Just have a look at this card. It's actually quite interesting. So you'll understand what we're looking at here. The deck is called The Storyteller's Tarot by David Pascal. I just thought it's the most interesting imagery in here to try out. So, what are you focusing on that is bringing itself to the surface, that is setting a new, let's say, a trend in which you're setting a new endeavor in place? I can feel there's a lot of perhaps social media, social interactions going on for some of you. This is for the Libra collective. That means wherever Libra is within your chart, then this reading is for you. Over the heart area, we have the bear and the strength of needing to put that elbow grease in place to work hard and to ascertain wands here, scepters here, a journey that will happen rather fast for you. So you're looking for people to go into business with you. Some of you, you're building up a new business. You're going into a new business venture with someone. There's also a new idea in you sharing new ideas with people. You're building new sense of communication. You're building that up. There's a lot of forward movement here, and it's quick as well for you, so it's not something that's out of your reach. You're building towards your future, and you're keeping it secure so that it doesn't bring too much of it's actually good to keep it secure and private, so you don't have to tell everybody all about what you're doing right now. It's definitely setting that thing in place. If you're not doing any business, if you're not in that notion of wanting to do any of those sort of things, then it may relate to very much putting a lot of energy into materializing ideas in terms of the path of your healing, where you're growing, where you're going towards, dealing with your family, putting new ideas in place, especially sharing new sense of longing, or there's someone that's longing for you very strongly. You're wanting to actually rebuild that thing, but you're very careful in how to do that. If this is not a relationship based, there's definitely a focus on business here, so this is definitely impacting you on your financial sector in your life path. Let's have a look and see what the underworld has to say, if there's anything that we need to be mindful of, that we need to be careful of. We have the Seven of Cups underneath the Queen of Coins here. We have the Queen of Wands here underneath the Hermit. So even though you're in public spaces or with people and social, you're actually still keeping everything to yourself. We have the Seven of Wands underneath the Six of Coins here. There's definitely a focus on trying to bring out the Hanged Man over the two of Wands or Scepters. Okay, so what I'm basically saying here is there's definitely a focus on trying to King of Swords here over the Chariot. Okay, there's definitely a focus on trying to bring out a lot of resources on an emotional level, on trying to ascertain what it is that you're trying to put in place. I'd say for some of you, I'm feeling that there's a focus on trying to rebuild a stability in yourself first before you actually endeavor in creating it with another person. Within the nature of that communication, there seems to be a little bit more deeper parts in the consciousness that needs to come through, like for example where the Queen of Wands is right over the Hermit here, and it's in the future path. You may need to focus on bringing all your focus into the present path, because if you do not deal with the current way in certain events, then it will still be in your path. The future is essentially set in the present. So there's not really, so technically speaking, the future doesn't actually exist. It's ever unfolding in the present moment of the self. Within the nature of this communication that you're having with certain people in your pathway, you're actually wanting to be very careful in how you convey yourself across, because you don't want to get hurt again. I hear get burnt again. And therefore your focus, your emphasis is more on what is within the heart of the matter right now. The Seven of Wands here, having to communicate your assets into yourself. In other words, bringing all of that which you seek to focus on is more for yourself rather than for others or towards others. And this could be the connection, the reconnection with the inner child, or the child that is part of the consciousness in your life path. Like I said, you could be a parent with a child, or you could be someone who's perhaps even a cross watcher for a Libra as well. And the communication between yourself and that person is very much related here. That the focus, that Libra is focusing on setting financial security in place, and it will be an endeavor that requires a lot of effort on their part, which it seems that they do, which it seems that Libra, you actually put a lot of effort in place here. The Hanged Man with the Two of Scepters, showing that it's not just pipe dreams, but you know when it becomes emotional roller coaster rather than something that's concrete and concise in your pathway here. We're seeing the King of Swords here over the chariot or the vehicle, which is very much indicative of how you set the path ahead for yourself, how you redirect your route in where you're going. There's a new action in terms of setting that energy in place so that it gives you more fundamental focus here. For those of you who are new to this channel, I read from the heavens, which is in the mind, the consciousness, and above that, and the underworld, which is where you will deal with your subconscious, a lot of things that will come out from there, which is really how you should mine out of the subconscious or underworld all of those beautiful gems that come into the current present consciousness, so that you're able to learn from that, because essentially no one is really in a place where they have nothing. They have a lot of wisdom that is within themselves, and most of that wisdom is often enough like very precious jewels set in the subconsciousness. Thereby I place a bridge over this to give you the clear view of how you're able to set the pathway in place for yourself. This is of course also your free will to decide how you take this reading or not. Let's have a look for Libra on the bridge here, bridging this consciousness, this pathway. We have the Five of Wands here. So you're definitely having to try and secure communication with someone, but it doesn't seem to be, it seems to be it's very lit up. So there's a lot of focus on trying to bring that information across. The person's not really listening to you. It doesn't seem to be. Queen of Swords here seems to be more focused on trying to, right over the Queen of Wands, so it's air and fire here in complementary focus with one another. You're using your mind now to deal with how to deal with certain people, so that you are able to be more, let's say, I'm hearing you're being less passionate, and it helps to be a little dispassionate on the mental level, so that you're able to reason more clearly, so that you're not trapped in the emotional anguish of the other person. You're definitely trying to set boundaries in place. Here's what I can see. For the heart, we have the Page of Swords here. Very much a focus on a new, this is a new approach for you. You're often someone that may have wanted to be more emotionally connected to certain things. It's not that you're cold. It's more that you're focused on trying to begin a new journey that requires your mental focus more to ascertain this process, and from the subconsciousness you draw out the power to be able to realize that you can use your mental acuity just as much as you can use your heart, and that there's a communication or a communion between the mind and that which is in the heart. You're having that marriage or that communication take place here, where there's the communication that allows the soul to become more aware of being objective, rather than to become subjective to the emotional issues that might come up. So in other words, you're basically learning how to put your foot down and say no without feeling emotionally sad about it or upset about it, or that you've just done something greatly dishonoring to the other person or towards the other. That's of course for some of you, not all of you. There's also the Eight of Wands here right over the Hanged Man, which is suggesting that even though you know you're on the path of action, you're definitely setting a pathway in place with the awareness that you can observe the choice that you're going to be making in what it is that you wish to acquire or achieve here. We have the Five of Pentacles here right over the King of Swords and the Chariot, suggesting that even though these things feel the way that they do for you in terms of the nature of setting these pathways in place, it may feel as if you are at a loss because you can't really see the progress happening. The bridge suggests that you're definitely crossing over into territory where you are setting more of an alignment of yourself in mind. You have yourself now in your mind and in your heart to be concerned about. It's perhaps new for you. You think that perhaps if you do that, that it might actually switch off the ability to acquire financial abundance. But it is an actual fact, when you look at yourself and care for who you are, that you recreate the relationship between yourself and that which is around you to come towards you. So it's not really a loss. It's more like you're losing the perspective of expecting that things need to come to you from the outside in, when it's the other way around. You have to cultivate that environment in the heart here, heart space, with vigor, with strength, in order to be able to then reach that cultivation of energy to come towards you. You have energy seeks out energy, is what I'm trying to say. So you're setting that pathway in place here for yourself. Clearly it does appear like you have been doing quite a lot to do that, to get to that point, but you've also been trying to figure out how to actually do that on a mental, emotional level. So this is for you, Libra. I hope this has given you some guidance and some affirmations, and this was your reading. Until next time.